Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. It's been about 4 days, I think this is the 5th day since I last posted a video. Throughout all of that, been moving house. I've come to Thailand on a holiday whilst I wait for the next new house to be ready. I know it seems like I move all the time. It's because I do, because I haven't built my own villa yet. Before we get into today's Chelsea news, we've got Mason Mount updates, Harry Kane, and a striker that Chelsea are about to sign, a Brazilian striker, who I know a lot about from Football Manager. But this one is actually happening. Before we get into that, there is only 2 more days that you guys can join the Telegram, and I strongly advise you just to join it. We are giving away 2 VIP tickets to Chelsea versus Liverpool, Poch versus Klopp, and a signed Lampard shirt within the next 3 days. So if you're not in by the end of the 30th of June, you can't win it, and it's a brilliant prize worth a lot of money. But we start with Mason Mount, who I thought if I was taking a little break, we might have an answer to this whole saga, this whole story, by the time I made my first video here in Thailand. But the updates now. Manchester United and Chelsea are set to make final decision on Mason Mount deal, as direct contacts will take place within 24 hours, as revealed yesterday. Understand the face-to-face contact, and Man United will be clear once again. They want to get it done for 55 million. Chelsea have tried to dig their heels in. Mount has said to Pochettino that if Chelsea and Man United don't agree the deal, he'll come back to Chelsea, give everything, and then he'll leave for free next summer. And as much as I would have liked to have believed, I don't know what's going on there, we're in like a boating harbour here, so if there's a load of random noises, it's probably someone fixing a yacht. I would say that Mason Mount staying at Chelsea would end up seeing him leaving, but at the same time, part of me wanted to believe that if things go well for Chelsea under Pochettino, which compared to last season, we will do better. I don't think we can get worse than what we did last season with the players that we've got at the club, with Pochettino being a better manager than Lampard, Potter, a clear vision, clear style of play, and I think we've got the right players to work with Pochettino. Is there any way that in the process of all of this, Mount has a key role, despite leaving for free in the following year, and somehow Chelsea managed to get him to sign? This isn't going to happen. Chelsea know that they have wanted to try and squeeze this deal as tight as they can, as hard as they can, because if it wasn't for the fact that Mount has 1 year left on his deal, even with the performances last season, he's still worth more in today's footballing market than 55 million quid. So Chelsea have been trying to squeeze this one. United haven't walked away to the point where it's like, no, we retract our offers. They've left the last one on the table. Chelsea have rebutted it again, but these face-to-face meetings basically mean that all of the parties involved know that this is a deal that's just going to happen. And I think Mount would leave for free next year. I don't doubt for a second if he was to stay, let's say the face-to-face talks that could be happening whilst you watch this video, if they don't go well, I do see Mount giving everything if he stays. But I don't think he's ever going to sign a new contract at Chelsea. And I think over time, we'll probably find out the real reasons why the relationship broke down. I think it is significantly more than, terms weren't good on the contracts. He doesn't love Chelsea anymore. These are like the base starting points that people are coming with as to why this is happening. There's definitely a bigger story. There's definitely something that has happened, which means that Mount does not want to be at this club under any circumstances any longer. So we will see how this one goes today. In the same time frame, Chelsea are set to open talks with Brighton for Moises Caicedo, as negotiations between the clubs starting within 24 to 48 hours. I've tried to put all of the news that I'm talking about in today's video with stuff that has been talked about in the last 24 hours. Personal terms, not an issue. Now Chelsea prepared to attack the deal. Never easy or fast negotiations with Brighton. Chelsea are on it. Knowing that Mount's going to leave, this Caicedo deal is absolutely essential now for Chelsea. With Declan Rice going to Arsenal, we need a midfielder. And I think we probably need another midfielder on top. When you look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek is now an AC Milan player. We have sold Kovacic to City, that's been announced. Havertz is now an Arsenal player, he's a gunner, and we really need to get this deal done. If Chelsea don't get the Caicedo deal done, then I really think we have a big issue here this summer when it comes to midfielders. Caicedo is the guy who I think can have a similar impact to what N'Golo Kante had when he first joined Chelsea. When Kante came in, with the profile that he was, the success he had at Leicester, he walked into that Chelsea team and elevated us. What Caicedo does is he doesn't just bring his brilliance, which again, at such a young age, could be moulded under Pochettino into something even bigger than he was at Brighton, for sure. That's what Chelsea are buying him for. But I also think in the process of doing that, what it allows the likes of Enzo to do will be to show why we spent 100 million on him. Arsenal fans were crucifying us for spending 100 million on Enzo Fernandez, above 100 million. They've now gone and done that for Declan Rice. And I think they've bought a brilliant player. And I think the brilliant player that Enzo showed between January and May is elevated to a different level of what he can bring the Chelsea team if this Caicedo deal goes through. Caicedo will then be the warrior. He'll be the man with the legs that when Karim Adeyemi is running in on goal to score for Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League, that is the job that Caicedo will do. And this whole time that Enzo's been a Chelsea player, we've been relying on him to do all of that defensive work, which nullifies the player that he is. So this Caicedo deal is absolutely massive for Chelsea to get done. Not going to be easy with Brighton. They've asked for 85 million. Chelsea believe we can get the deal done for cheaper, but I do think this could go on a little bit. We wanted to try and wrap things up with sales before June. We've done a great job with that. We've made nearly 200 million so far on sales. We've also got Callum Hudson-Odoi wanted by Milan, Fulham, Forest. That could be another sale off the books for Chelsea from an academy product. So with all of these negotiations going through, there are other things to discuss here, such as Harry Kane. We're going to talk about Ângelo, the Brazilian striker, in a moment. I don't know if this is just everyone just trying to figure out a way to link Chelsea to Kane for a few clicks, but Harry Kane has commissioned the building of a sizable new family home close to Wentworth Golf Club, 15 miles away from Chelsea's club training ground. When you add into this all of the stories we've been hearing about don't sleep on Chelsea when it comes to strikers. They might have signed Nicholas Jackson, about to sign Ângelo from the Brazilian. Don't rule out a big striker move. Now the big strikers on the market are Vlahovic. I think Chelsea could have got this deal done relatively quickly if we wanted to from Juventus. Victor Osimhen, that's a big one. That's going to take some time. That's going to take some negotiations. And Harry Kane from Tottenham is the one that we have said is probably impossible. But the closer we get to the new season, the pressure becomes on Daniel Levy here, because I don't think Harry Kane signs a new deal at Spurs. It would be foolish. Even before we start thinking about the sentiment, it would be foolish to sign a deal when you're that good of a striker at a club like that, because you're not going to win trophies. You've been in the middle of mediocrity, but at the pinnacle of mediocrity because of the club you play for so long, and the years in which Harry Kane is entering in his career now. Real Madrid will want Mbappe. That would be the dream move. Bayern Munich, I don't think Kane gives up being the Premier League all-time top goal scorer to go and win a Bundesliga with Bayern Munich, which is, basically the same like going to a sweet shop and you're going to walk out with sweets. That's what Bayern winning the Bundesliga is. We all know that. There's nothing special about it. So Harry Kane, Man United, that's the good one, but they've only got 100 million to spend this summer. Chelsea don't. We have made a lot of player sales, and we are going to spend big. Once all of these sales have gone through, once June is out the way and we enter a new bracket of time within financial fair play, Chelsea will attack the market. And I think Harry Kane, as much as the fact he's commissioned the building of a home near Wentworth Golf Course, there's not a lot of space in and around London. So, South London, Cobham, it's Surrey, it's not London, but it's still close to London. Is there anything to look into here regards a move for Chelsea? If I'm being a realist, probably not, because Harry Kane's got a lot of money and it's a beautiful area of the world. I used to live there. I used to live on Walton-on-Thames about 7 years ago. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea went in for Kane, even though the chances of getting him would be so slim. Elite strikers, there is none better than Harry Kane. I think Kane, for me, would be above Osimhen. If we're being realistic about what the risks would be, Kane is not a risk in the Premier League. He's absolutely not, even with the dreaded curse of the number 9, the striker, at Chelsea Football Club. But moving away from Harry Kane, because I know as soon as you start talking about Kane, some people are like, impossible, don't bother, don't want to listen. But the big news here is Chelsea have agreed a €15 million fee for 2004 talented Brazilian striker Ângelo. I've bought this guy on Football Manager saves in FM23, and he is ridiculous. His profile is ridiculous, and I know that that doesn't add any real credibility here to my knowledge of the player because he's on Football Manager, but again, a deal until 2029 is being struck up here with Chelsea. Barcelona could still have a say in this. There's a 48-hour clause that Barcelona can activate, but they will not do it, says Fabrizio Romano. So, adding to the Andre Santos, Cesar Casadei, Kendry Paez, Chelsea are going to sign Ângelo, a Brazilian striker, adding to this pool of talent that we have, but he's going to come and join Chelsea for pre-season, and then the likelihood is a loan. But the good thing about all of these young players, and especially the ones that can come, train at Cobham, get a pre-season under Pochettino, if the market isn't favouring Chelsea, we can wait until towards the end of the transfer window, and maybe if that big name striker, the ready-made striker, doesn't come through, we've got a pool of youngsters here that Pochettino can look at and be like, well, okay, we didn't buy you for now, but the way the market's gone, we need to use you now. Chelsea have options here. And these are brilliant young players who will become fabulous if we manage them correctly and still offer that pathway into the first team squad, which is essential. Look at the academy players that have been there, look great, left because they don't see the gap. They don't see the way in. Chelsea have also got to hope that these new young signings understand the vision for how they get into the team. Same as the Cobham boys, same as the academy graduates. It has to be a clear pathway. Otherwise, we won't keep them forever, and it's just exciting for now. But that wraps up today's Chelsea news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Am I being crazy when I say that we could go for Kane? Just to clarify, I don't think we get him. Just think we should go for, I really do. He's unbelievable. He's phenomenal, and he's wasting away at that dead club, Tottenham. See you guys later. Come on, you Blues.